Hello YouTube, what's going on? So, this last weekend I was up at my buddy's house and we put in my new Mechman 240 amp alternator. Spent probably 2 hours getting it done. It was just tools that I didn't have, so I wasn't able to do it myself. So I went up there, hung out with my buddy up in Seattle and, well, Tacoma, Olympia area, and put in my new alternator. So here's kind of what I've done. The reason I did this is after doing some research and finding out that there's a better way to get electricity, or to promote even flow of electricity through your vehicle. And I have a 12,000 pound winch, and I wanted to be able to efficiently get power where I needed to, how I needed to. And so with the research I've done, this is what I've come up with. So what I did was I got a 0 gauge cable with a 250 amp fuse built in right here, and then this runs straight down to where the charge wire would run in for my batteries, and I've got it tied into there, into the 250 amp fuse, and then over to the power line on the alternator. Now Mechman comes with a spot to ground your alternator specifically. So what I did with this, because I've got so much stuff down here on my primary battery, I went ahead and ran my ground here on over to my secondary battery. And so it runs along here, right here, over to my secondary battery. And then what I did with that is I took and got a 8 gauge cable, and I ran it over to here and ground to my body a little bit better. So you know, one of the downfalls of stock is that they don't do a very good job grounding everything, and so this is kind of a similar version to the Big 3. When you do a Big 3 upgrade, you ground your alternator better as one, you put a better power cable, that's number 2, and then a better ground to your vehicle body, that's 3. So that's what I spent last weekend doing, and that's what I've done so far. I do notice a major difference in the in where my alternator volts set. I'm at 14.7 volts pretty much all the time. Now with the Mechman, their pulley is a bit smaller, and so what I have noticed a little bit is that when I shut off, it kind of gives a squeak. So I'll probably get a bigger belt or a smaller belt to put on there, but for now it's fine. Excuse me. So like I said, that's one of the things that I've noticed, is that just more power. And when I had to replace my alternator, I just wanted to make sure that I got one that would power up this big bad boy right here, this 12,000 pound winch, so that if I kept my vehicle running and I needed to pull myself or somebody else out, I could do it without draining my batteries. So anyway guys, that's just a brief overview of what I have done as far as setting up my charging and my new charge wire and grounding everything out better. And put your comments in, let me know what you think. I think this would be a good setup for even if you're running a stock alternator. The bigger the cable you run, the better the flow. And if most of you go out, one of the things that I noticed was your alternator cable is about a 10 gauge wire, and you're running that 10 gauge wire from your alternator to your charge lines, but then you've got these big 4 gauge wires going from your from there to your batteries, and it didn't make any sense to have a 10 gauge trying to charge up to 4 gauge wires. So I think this is a more efficient way. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. You all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.